Good morning. Can you hear me? Please respond.
Yes, sir.
Okay. We will start now. In between, a few others may be waiting to join. I will hold for a while and then resume. But however, we will start now. Last class, we were discussing about, just a second. My mouse is not working. Yeah, now it is all right. Yeah. Okay. So the last class, we had discussed about hydrograph, incremental hydrograph, and did little bit of moving average curve. Today we will complete this moving average curve, the last bit which we are left with in module 1. So this is the example what we are required to solve, the numerical which we are required to solve. So the annual rainfall at a particular station is given for a certain period, 1950 to 79. And this needs to be represented by using a 3-year and 5-year moving average curve. And also we have to understand from the presentation as to how many years the quantity of rainfall is less than 20% of the mean, and for how many years it is more than the mean. So this is something what we are required to do. So in this context, again, I would seek the help of Excel, whereas in examination you would be doing using calculator and graph sheet. So I will take the number of years and copy to that in Excel. Just a second. So I have taken for all years here. So this is what I would have. See, these are the values of rainfall in mm, annual rainfall in mm for various years. So for 3-year moving average curve, see what we have to do is that I will just say a 3-year moving average. I would write moving average curve. What you have to do is you have to take the average of 3 years as one set and represent that at the middle year. For example, to begin with here, the average of 50, 51, 52, 3 years is recorded against 51. That means to say that the average here is, one second, someone else wishes to join. Yeah. See, the average here is, so you may have to use calculator in examination. I would do it using Excel here. So the average has come. So similarly, for the next 3 years, the average has to be calculated. This is the average of years 51, 52, 53 represented against 52. So this is what we would have. And similarly, I will do it for other years too. I can do it for other years. So this is what I have done to make these numbers look better. The decimal locations we will truncate. That I would do. One second. So I will go to format cells and then number. Okay, 2 decimal location. So this is a 3-year moving average. For example, if you look into 622, look here. This is the average of year 75, 76, 77 recorded or shown against year 1976, 22. So this is how you have to understand. And then again, we will do it for 5-year average. I will show it here. 5-year moving average. I will take it here. Here, what we are doing is, we are taking 5 years at a time. That is 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 5 years. And against the midpoint, that is year 1952. So against the year 1952, I will have the average of 5 years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 years average I would take. And similarly, for the next 5 years, I will take the average of 1951, 52, 53, 54, 55, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years represented against middle year 1953. So that is done. So you get this value. And similarly, you do it for other sets of 5 years each, which I would represent here. Okay. Please remember one thing here. When you do this, for 3-year moving average curve, you have no data in this particular row. Similarly, the last row will also not have any entry. For 5-year moving average, 2 rows in the end, 2 rows in the beginning will not have any value determined because we are doing it in sets of 3 and sets of 5. That is another thing what you need to remember. So with this in mind, then let us move on to the plotting, how to plot this value. First of all, let me take the case of incremental heightograph. As it is, I would plot, I would take this incremental heightograph, I would take as it is. That needs to be done. So I will go to insert, I will go to chart, I represent this. So I will take it little below so that things are visible better. So once this is done, then I have to represent a few other things. The axis here is the time axis. This needs to be changed. So for which what I would do is, I will select data. I will go to edit for x-axis, and these values are for the years. I will take that. And then the series name, we can take it as heightograph, incremental heightograph. Okay. Okay, so if you look into this, the years have come here, but all years are not visible, the space constraint. So what we will do is that we will format axis also. In examination in graph sheet, you can easily do it, but here to show all options, I have to do all these things. So let me take that also. One second, in between many wishes to join. Yeah, I have changed this. And then I will make it a little bigger such that every year is visible. Yeah. Now, if you look into this, every year is visible. Now, we may have to even tell something about the axis, what they represent. So for that, I will say the x-axis represents, the axis title is for year. So year is represented here. And whereas the y-axis represents the values of the rainfall in mm, primary vertical axis, rainfall in millimeters. So that is represented here. So one more person wishes to join. Yeah, admit. Okay. So now this completes incremental heightograph. On the top of this, we have to represent 3-year moving average curve and 5-year moving average curve. How to do that? So what I will do is, I will again take the case of this. I will add a series. So the Series is 3-year moving average. Okay. So 3-year moving average. And then I will take the values for the purpose. So I am taking the values here. Values are taken. Then the axis also needs to be set in X direction. That also I would set. Okay, then I would say, okay, this we need to represent in the form of a line diagram. So in order to make that happen, so what I would do is that I will go to, one second, design, chart option, change chart type. So here in change chart type, this one, I will make it line diagram. Okay. So this is another one. And then down below, I have to show the legend as to what represents what. So for that, I will again, one second. I will select, I'll go to design, legend, bottom. Look here, the blue bars represent incremental hyetograph, whereas the orange one represents a 3-year moving average curve. Similarly, I would superimpose the 5-year moving average curve also. So what I would do is, again, let me select data, add another one, 5-year moving average. Then the values I have to take, values I am taking here. Values are taken. Then the X values have to be included. That I would do. For the same set of years, we are doing nothing different. So that is done. Now I say okay. So look here, the 5-year average curve has come in gray line. That is also shown here. So on the same graph, we have shown incremental hyetograph, 3-year moving average, 5-year moving average. So it is shown. Then the problem statement also talks about, if you look into, identify those years from the graph which we have plotted, which have a value of rainfall less than 20% of the mean and more than the mean. That is, mean is nothing but average. Then in which case, first of all, we have to calculate the average value of the rainfall here. So the average value of the rainfall in Excel, it is very easy for me. I can easily calculate. So what I would do is that I will calculate the average value of the rainfall for all the years I would calculate. So I will format this to 2 decimal locations. Okay. So the average rainfall is determined. So 568.67 mm is the average rainfall for all the years together, starting from 1950 ending with 1979. 568.67 is the average value of the rainfall. 20% of average. 20% of average is nothing but 0.2 times this value. So this also I will format for 2 decimal locations. Okay. Average is 568.67 mm. 20% of average is 113.73. So this is what we have obtained. So in the sketch itself, if you have to identify that, you have to draw a horizontal line which represents 568.67. You should also draw a horizontal line which represents 113.73 mm. So for that to happen in Excel, I have to do slightly differently from what you normally do in graph sheet. So I would just do it this way here. 568.67. Just hold on. I will show you. By 68.67. Similarly, to represent 113.73, I have to do some more manipulation here in Excel. But in graph sheet, it is very easy. I will show you how you can do it. Now, what I would do is, I will add one more series to this case. Just watch how it changes. Add another series. Series name, average. Average is average rainfall, 568.67 mm. Then series I would take from here. Series. Then the time axis, the years I have to represent. Yes, I have represented. Okay. So the moment I do it, you get a horizontal line here. I will change this a little bit. 1 second. Format data series. I will make it dotted line such that our job becomes easy here. Yeah. See, look here. Average rainfall 568.67 as shown here, mm, is shown by this yellow line. Is shown by this yellow line. Now, if at all, if you wish to understand which are those years which have a rainfall greater than average, you can easily understand. 1950 is above. Similarly, 1955 is above. And this year here. So all bars above this yellow line indicates years in which the value of the rainfall is greater than mean value. And similarly, if you wish to take 20% of the mean value, I will add another one. Series name, 20% average. 20% average is 113.73 mm. 20% of average, 20% of average, that is 113.73 mm. And then the series, I will take these values. Then time axis has to be given the same number of years. Time axis is mentioned. Okay. So look here, you have another solid line here. I will format this to make a dash type. Yeah. Look here, the dotted line in blue has come, which represents 20% of average 113.73 mm. So in the examination, it is just sufficient for you to mark 113.73 and draw an horizontal line. And similarly for average, you will mark a point 568.67, you will draw a line. And based on this, you can easily identify which years have got less than 20% of the average, that is year 1952 has got less than that. You can look here. The year of drought probably you can think of. Similarly, all with the above average, the surplus years can also be thought of. And all in the moderate range can also be understood very easily. And this kind of understanding is not possible if you just look at the data, what is presented in the form of a table. So this is how you would plot a moving average curve. A moving average curve helps us to understand the trend of the rainfall. So the trend in the sense that whether over a period of time the rainfall is increasing or decreasing is better understood by means of moving average curve. We also know that this trend can be understood by means of incremental hydrograph also, but to have much clear, a consistent understanding of the situation, moving average curve are the better means to represent the rainfall data and go with further analysis and design requirements in respect of hydrological investigations necessary for any planning of a project. Is this point clear? Do you have any doubt at this point of time? If you have anything, we will discuss on that. Somebody can please respond just in case if you have any doubt with this. Anything? Somebody please respond. No response. Yeah. Somebody please speak.
Yes, sir.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So if you have any doubt, please let me know. So in chat
sir.
box, somebody has no sir, understood. Okay, okay, okay. No means negative. Understood means positive. Yes, sir, understood is a better choice. Okay, we may be running out of time in 10 minutes. I will be continuing. At the end, you please rejoin. Okay, so with this, what all which needs to be covered for this case of module 1 is over. So let me just have a quick look into what we have discussed as a part of this module 1. So what is that we have discussed? Just let me go back to 1 second. Yeah. Hydrology and irrigation engineering. Just a second. What is that we have discussed here in module 1? So in module 1, quite a big chapter, even though it is said it is 10 hours, it took quite an amount of time for us to complete. There are two parts to this, what we have discussed. One is hydrology, the other is precipitation. In hydrology, we started with introduction and also the significance of hydrology was discussed, and water resource availability in world context as well in Indian context was discussed. Then the hydrologic cycle was looked into, and the later part is all about precipitation. The definition of precipitation: any moisture which reaches the surface of the earth, maybe in the form of rainfall, maybe in the form of snow, dew, hail, sleet. All this is known as precipitation. The major component in this respect is rainfall, which comes in liquid form. So forms of precipitation we have discussed, types of precipitation, the cyclonic, orographic, convective, all types of precipitation we have discussed. Then the measurement of rainfall using the Siemens non-automatic gauge and siphon automatic gauge. So both are discussed, whereas in siphon automatic type, we understood that both the quantity and intensity can be measured, whereas it is not a possibility in case of non-automatic type, that is Siemens rain gauge. Then we discussed about optimum number of rain gauge stations. Optimum number of rain gauge stations would become necessary to get a proper representative value for a watershed. If the number of rain gauge stations are less, it may not provide us the true picture of the happening in the watershed. Hence, the optimum number of rain gauge stations have to be worked out, and it depends on the accuracy what we need. If the accuracy or the deviation from the real happening is a small percentage of 5%, we may need more number of rain gauge stations as compared to if we are allowing 10% error. So this is something what we need to understand. Then we check for consistency of data. This is by double mass analysis. Then the mean rainfall computation was done using 3 methods: arithmetic average method, Thiessen polygon method, and isohydral method. Then estimation of missing precipitation data was done. When the deviation is less than 10%, we said arithmetic average is the method we need to adopt. If it is more than that, weighted mean has to be taken. A numerical example was also looked into. And then presentation of precipitation data, in which we presented data in the form of hydrograph and incremental hydrograph, and finally moving average curve. So all these things were discussed. So with this, the module 1 gets completed. Just in case if we have anything to get clarification from the topics which are mentioned in module 1, please let me know. Otherwise, let us move on to module 2. Do you have anything to ask from whatever we have discussed till now in module 1? Anything? So in the meantime, till the time you ask some questions, it is time for me to record attendance. I will take a few snaps of the attendance. Just a second. If you have any doubt, you please ask. In the meantime, I can answer for that. If you have any doubt, you please ask. So I am done with snaps of attendance. So any doubt at this point of time? Please. Shall we move to module 2 then? Please respond.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. And then the module 2, we have 3 minutes, after which you may have to rejoin. In module 2, the abstractions of precipitation are discussed, 3 of them, not all of them. What we are going to discuss is about evaporation, evapotranspiration, and then infiltration. So while discussing the case of hydrologic cycle, we understood that these terms, evaporation, evapotranspiration, or infiltration, are known as losses of rainfall, are also known as, in strict sense, abstractions of rainfall, sometimes even components of rainfall. So whatever way you wish to. In syllabus, it is mentioned as losses of rainfall. Actually, in hydrological terms, it should be called as abstractions of rainfall. And in some informal situations, it is also known as components of rainfall. That means to say that the breakup, rainfall is some lump sum quantity, and out of which, when it reaches the surface of the earth, the ground, it gets distributed in various forms. Some quantity of water is lost, goes back to the atmosphere in the form of evaporation. Some part is consumed by vegetation, crops, etc., for their transpiration needs, which we know as evapotranspiration, because of the reason that along with this transpiration of plants, some part of the soil moisture also gets evaporated where we have the roots of these vegetation. Therefore, the combined term evapotranspiration is used. And part of the rainfall will also get into the soil and may form the groundwater storage or the soil moisture in the top soil zone. And this is another part of distribution which we can see. Other than this, the other major part, the component or the loss or the abstraction, what we talk is runoff, which we are going to discuss in module 3. And this module 3 is very important chapter in hydrological terms, because the way we understand the situation, and which has a lot of implication in terms of planning, analysis, and design of facilities, will have a lot of relevance to what we discuss here. Of course, the earlier topics are also equally important, but much of